All right, good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak. It's now 17 minutes to 8 o'clock, and it's time we want to turn political and talk about the situations of what has been happening in the country the past few days. And so far, we know that there has been a purge by the Jubilee Party at the Senate. Now we are talking about the Senate has no deputy speaker after Senator Kithure Kindiki was dethroned from that position after a vote of the House with 54 supporting his impeachment and 7 voting for his retention. But now to discuss these matters, we have Ngunjiri Wambugu, the Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town. We also have Senator Samson Cherargei from Nandi County. Good morning, gentlemen. And first of all, Honorable Wambugu, what is your view in what has been happening at the purge at the Senate at the time that there's that cry of some members of the Jubilee Party feeling that this is the wrong thing being done? It is sort of political intolerance. What's your position?
Thank you very much. That view that this is political intolerance, I don't understand where it's coming from. We are in a political party that has certain things it believes in, that has certain structures, that is expected to be disciplined. The issue of the people who have been removed from office is because they did not follow, or they were not believed to be doing what the party expects them to be doing. So the party replaced them. And or remove them from office, where they could replace them with people who the party had more confidence in. The most recent one was a deputy senator, the deputy speaker who is a senator for Tharaka-Nithi, Professor Kindiki. It was a decision we all watched. It was a decision that was made by Senate based on voting. So I don't know at what point they would say that it is intolerance. Because we are expected to follow certain guidelines when we join any institution or any organization. Even yourselves at Citizen have certain rules and regulations you're supposed to follow. If you don't follow them, you will be fired, or you will be removed from office, or you will be demoted, or moved from a department to another department. It is not intolerance. It is actually just institutional discipline that we are seeing at play.
Institutional discipline, you call it.
And also because people hadn't seen it before.
Okay. So it's a new thing.
And because it wasn't been done before, it was assumed that that precedent had formed that you can do whatever you want. Those bad manners are what are now being rectified.
I don't know if you know, because you appeared like you know what the script is like. Where are we headed next? Because we had the senator of Muranga, that is Irungu Kangata, saying that the purge continues with the chairpersons of committees at the Senate. How much more, and what do you think will be happening at the National Assembly?
I am sure, for example, the National Assembly, there's going to be a change of leadership from the Jubilee Party, from the Jubilee side. Whether it's for personally, I expect to see a change of leadership at the majority leader position, deputy majority leader position. I expect to see changes in not majority. I don't expect Jimmy Angwenyi to be removed, but I expect the other leaders to be removed and changed. I expect that there's going to be changes in the committees, some of the committees, especially, for example, the Committee on Budget. And this is not personal. The president is trying to align his party to deliver on his agenda. If you don't believe in the president's agenda, you have the democratic right not to agree with his agenda. But then he can't give you a position of influence in a party he leads or in a government he leads if you don't agree with his agenda. He's just going to let you either take a backbench and you can pursue your democratic space, but you can't use a position he has given you in the party or in the government to fight his agenda.
And what exactly has the majority leader done, Aden Duale?
I mean, let me just give you one example. There are many things that Aden Duale has done, but on 28th of April, the majority leader suggested that the president is lying to the ODM leader, and at some point he will strategically throw him under the bus, because and this is something that was covered even in the media. He said there is some scheme by the president, who is working with the deputy president, to betray Raila at an opportune moment. Now, this is casting aspersions on the integrity of the president. This is you're the leader of the party, of his party in the House. You're the one who's expected to be working with, for example, ODM members of parliament, with Wiper members of parliament, or anybody who wants to work with us. But here you are telling the Kenyan public that the president might be scheming against somebody he has gone on public and said he's working with in regard to uniting the country. That by itself, as far as I'm concerned, is reason enough for you to be removed from being a majority leader of the party.
Joining us is Senator Samson Cherargei. Good morning, Senator. And you hear the Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town clearly saying or outlining some of the issues that are just about to happen within the National Assembly. And there's that question of punishing those that may appear not to be towing the line. I don't know where your fate lies, because I saw you speak at the floor of the Senate on Friday, and there was a lot of standing, I mean, what do you call it? People rising on a standing order. No, point of order, I mean. So where do you think this heads, and how are you reconciling all this as a person who is also a chairperson of the Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee of the Senate?
Thank you, Sam, for having me, and good morning to viewers. What I want to say is that, one, when I listened to Honorable Wambugu talking about Aden Duale be removed, the same Trump charges were being, Trump-up charges that were being leveled against Professor Kithure Kindiki. You remember the Senate Majority Leader made allegations that his rulings had been going against the government. My question has always been, this Jubilee party is a party that respects the freedom to opinion, freedom to democracy, as provided both by the Constitution. But it went ahead to question some of the rulings. And even when they say they want to remove Duale for simply giving his opinion, it is always a shock. And what happened on Senate on Friday was less than the state capture. Because even some of the rulings that the Speaker has been making are some of the rulings that are being generated by the people like Wambugu. Let me take you back a little bit on one point. One is that Ngunjiri Wambugu and his company has been saying that they should be disciplined, they should be focused, they should be organization within Jubilee Party. I remember when we went for by-election in Kibra, and this is a question I raised a fortnight ago to Honorable Ngunjiri Wambugu. Minor Commander, he himself and others, even Governor Anwar, were the people who were campaigning against the candidate of Jubilee, McDonald Mariga. They were campaigning for the current Kibra Member of Parliament, came of vote. No one has punished. So when you hear people like him talking about that the Jubilee Party should be disciplined, their rules and regulations, where were these rules and regulations when they went against the party position, when they campaigned, which is a lesser sin when they campaign? So as a chairperson, having served as the chair of legal, currently serving as the chair of legal in the Senate, is not a privilege, it is a right. Because one, I'm a member of Jubilee. Number two, I was elected by the people of Nandi. And therefore, let me confirm to you and Kenyans at large, Sam, that there is no government business on the floor of the House as the chair of legal that has been processed as a government that has failed on the floor of the House. Even at one, even I'm not aware of any government business that are flopped on the floor of the House. So when people say people are not pushing the agenda of the president at the floor of the House, they should be giving us a certain and certain motion fail, certain and certain bill that was meant for government fail, certain and certain agenda of government fail on the floor of the House. But when you listen to these, the gossip that are being made in cricket dens and Chai and Mandazi session. So from
Senator, I want to cut you short because I've heard you say that before on this program. But when you talk about your chairmanship of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, are you scared that the purge will catch up with you, and are you going to level any defense to keep your position?
No, you know, I think in Matthew 28:10 or 10:28, Matthew says, "Fear not the person that killeth the body, but fear that killeth the soul." Why should I be scared of? If they want to take the chairmanship of legal, so be it, because I thought this party respected the rule of law. They respected. These are the issues that we were expecting to be done at specific time. So at the end of the day, Sam, these are some of the issues that we need to listen. So why should I be scared?
Okay. Honorable Wambugu, on Friday when that impeachment hearing was being conducted by the Senate, is it a hearing? No, it was that session of impeachment. We saw the members of NASA, from the National Super Alliance, from the opposition, siding with the Jubilee side, of course, indicating, especially Senator Orengo, saying that we need a functional ruling party. Does it not bother you that the opposition now is getting into the business of a ruling party? Is it the desired picture that you should be seeing at such a time?
You know, one of the things that I found very, very interesting about what NASA presented, especially on the issue of Kindiki, was the argument was simple. You as Jubilee Party presented us with Kithure Kindiki to be the Deputy Speaker. You told us that you have confidence in him. and you bet us in an election and voted him in. Now you as Jubilee Party have come and told us you no longer have confidence in Kithure Kindiki. What argument would somebody from a non-Jubilee Party make to defend Kindiki? This Kindiki belongs to Jubilee. Jubilee is saying we don't want to have Kindiki as our deputy speaker anymore. The only thing the other parties in Senate can say is, okay, fine, this is your guy. If you don't want him, then we will remove him because you're the one who presented it to us. And then we see who you're going to present to us next. Because remember, in Senate, the deputy speaker is elected by all the senators.
Mm-hmm.
Jubilee has a majority.
Honorable Wambugu, Senator Cherargei wants to say something. What is it?
No, what I wanted to find out from Ngunjiri Wambugu, you are aware that the senators of majority side, according to Standing Order number 19 and 20, we never met anywhere through a Senate parliamentary group to discuss the conduct or confidence of Professor Kithure Kindiki. Mm-hmm. So when you hear Ngunjiri Wambugu
you people were called to a PG, you refused to go.
There was no Senate parliamentary committee that all of us sat as 35 plus Jubilee senators and decided on the fate of Jubilee. What happened is that some few individuals went to State House. They just, I don't know what happened in the State House. Then they came back. We never met at Jubilee Party headquarters to discuss on the confidence of Professor Kithure Kindiki. So some Kenyans must know that
this is where you go wrong.
That was done within the law.
Honorable Wambugu, go ahead.
This is where Cherargei goes wrong. Mm-hmm. This particular group, because now even him is talking about companies, the group that Cherargei represents have been going around the country insisting that they want PG. Mm-hmm. So the last official PG we had was in 2017 in State House, mm-hmm. where decisions were made, including that Kindiki was going to be the deputy speaker. Mm-hmm. They are called for a Senate PG in State House. Cherargei recently referred to that PG as a Mandazi and tea eating session in State House. Mm-hmm. So he did not go. So I don't even know how he knows what was discussed in that meeting. Because if he was not in that meeting, okay. The meeting that decided that Kipchumba was no longer going to be the majority leader, mm-hmm. Susan Keheka was no longer going to be the majority whip, has he know that the decision to make sure for Kindiki not to be the deputy speaker was not discussed there? He did not appear. And this is this contempt that they have, that they can actually refer to a PG called by the party leader in State House as a tea and Mandazi eating session, Senator, is a kind of madarau that we have a problem with.
Senator, just before you go, I need us to make progress. And of course, the Honorable Ngunjiri, none of us, the three of us, attended that meeting at the State House, so we don't know what they discussed. But
we saw the results of that meeting. We saw decisions being made that came from that meeting.
Okay, let's talk about
that have been implemented.
That's fine, Honorable Wambugu. I want us to talk about the situation. No, Senator. Senator, if you can hear me, I want us to talk about the situation to do with the National Executive Council of the Wiper Party clearing the party to go ahead and have a conversation with the Jubilee Party and Kanu to form a coalition. I mean, why are we seeing all these things? And what is the end game, if you know, Honorable Wambugu?
Personally, I think we are in a situation where a lot of political parties and a lot of political leaders want to unite with the president in terms of uniting the country, in terms of debunking this issue of divisive political competition that does not end. When I listen to the Wiper leader and the Wiper party saying that they want to get into a post-election coalition with Jubilee, I get impressed, because what we are being told is, yes, we are competing with you, we competed with you, yes, we are looking forward to compete with you in 2022, but since you defeated us in 2017 and you're the one leading the government, we are going to work with you to deliver certain things that we promised our people as Wiper had we gotten into power. We want to push you, we want to get into an agreement with you to deliver these things. Mm-hmm. If you can agree to work with us, we are also going to support you as a government. Because remember, once government gets into office, it is a government for everyone, including Wiper, including ODM, including NAS, including even Cherargei, who might not believe in it at this moment. But the government has to deliver to all Kenyans. So anybody who wants to work with the government is welcome.
But Honorable Wambugu, the Jubilee already has the majority. It has Kanu on its side now. Why do you need Wiper, which is already in NASA?
But you see, if you did not agree with the Jubilee Party in the beginning, and you decide you want to support their agenda now, and you want to support their policies now, at what point would we say no? And this is, again, the kind of thing that I find so surprising.
Okay.
We want to have everybody. In fact, if we could get everybody on board to working with Jubilee, we would be happy as Jubilee. Some other people might argue, no, you're turning this into a one-party state. But you know, you can't stop people from coming to work with you if they are coming to add value.
Okay.
I listen to Cherargei, and they're discussing and they're arguing and they're against people coming to work with their own party. Why would they have a problem with people coming to work with Jubilee if it serves the Kenyan interest?
So, Senator, you opposed the coalition with KANU. I don't know what your position is if Wiper comes on board. What do you think you're going to do?
One quick intervention is that when I wanted to tell my friend Ngunjiri that when you're invited for party meetings, they always send you with an agenda. So that one should be. Number two, the Jubilee Constitution, the Elections Act, the Constitution is very clear on how those pre-coalition agreements are made. What we are just saying from where I sit is that the law should be followed. Because when you hear Ngunjiri Wambugu talking about NASA, and you have asked a very critical question, that why would you believe one more numbers, yet they had numbers in the House. Number two, Sam and Kenyans should know, we are headed into a single-party country. This is a dictatorship. Because in the near future, Sam, is that when we kill all this party, when we kill party democracy, when we bring the country into one, where there is no opposition, where there is no questioning of government. And you have even seen the former Prime Minister the other day saying that he can't prevent this appeals to question the government. So we are headed to single-party dictatorship. The last one is Ngunjiri and his company have said the president is trying to unite the country. That is a misnomer. The country is as more divided as it was before. Secondly, as we talk, the president does not have a specific legacy up to now. There is no legacy that President Uhuru Kenyatta has made for this country. If you talk about unity of the country, it is not there. If you talk about Big Four agenda, it is gathering dust in State House. If you talk about even the programs of development, management of corona pandemic, it is zero. So what we are trying
Senator, you're a Jubilee elected senator, and you're saying that the president does not have any legacy now. What have you done to ensure that he has that legacy?
No, we have been trying to tell the president and people like Ngunjiri who are misadvising him that he should stick to the Big Four agenda. He should go to the Big Four agenda, which was good. The Jubilee manifesto that we promised Kenyans, issues of electricity, issues of roads, issues of the unity of the country, creation of opportunities for the young people across the country. But as we talk, there is no specific, even legacy, even the unity of the country. The country is as more divided as we. You saw demolitions of Ruai and Kariobangi, where even human rights are being abused. So which legacy is Wambugu talking about if it is not even unity of the country, which is a very basic legacy? We don't have any legacy that we can write home about today, as we even talk. And one way of ensuring that Kenyans are kept busy, Sam, as I conclude, is bringing these pre-coalition and post-coalition agreements that even do not even, they are illegal. They don't even follow the Constitution and the Elections Act and even the Jubilee Constitution, because Sam, as I conclude, the ratification process of pre- and post-election agreements must be done within the Jubilee Constitution and the Elections Act and even the Constitution, which are being ratified by members of the Jubilee.
And so, Senator, if you indeed believe that your party is not towing the line as per the Constitution, it is not representing the ideals that you came into office with, what are you going to do about it?
Of course, that is why some of us, we are pushing within the party, and that is why we don't want impunity in the party and disrespect of the law. We want to push and that is why we want to insist to the president that first, he must go back to the Big Four agenda. Number two, to go back in the Jubilee manifesto. You remember the trust of Kenyans that Jubilee has is courtesy of the promises we made in 2017 when we ran for the second term in office as a Jubilee government. But you find people who are like Ngunjiri, who are busy misadvising the president and telling the president, can you do political badge? What does it have? How can a father sit on a table and allow to be in courts for his children to be killed politically? Yet we campaign together, and it seems the more you campaign for Jubilee, the more you are punished heavily. And you saw from Professor Kithure Kindiki, Susan Kieka, Kipchumba Murkomen, and even now they are heading to the National Assembly. What offense are these people?
All right, Senator, let me cut you short. And Honorable Wambugu, so we see that The Jubilee Chief Whip at the Senate has a press statement at 10 a.m. that says that the Jubilee Party will be making a major announcement. I don't know whether you have any information about it, even as you respond on that. So now the Senate has no deputy speaker. The whip is going to be cracked on also some of the chairpersons in these committees. Might we see a possibility of opposition parties taking up leadership roles within some of those positions in Senate and the National Assembly?
First, I would not want to preempt what majority or the Senate majority whip is going to be announcing later today, and I would like to just wait for him to make that particular announcement. But it's also interesting, as I was listening to Cherargei speak, you would actually be hard-pressed to believe that that is a member of Jubilee who is speaking at this moment in time. He sounds completely like a member of the opposition, and that is a problem we have. We have a few members of parliament, I think in Senate there are only 7, who have actually purposed upon, who have taken upon themselves to be the opposition. I hear Cherargei complaining about us going into a single-party state. There is nothing that stops anybody from starting a political party. When I listen to Cherargei, I actually want to ask him, Cherargei, if you're not happy with what is going on, step out and start your own party. You cannot be a chairman of Jubilee, of a committee, given that position by Jubilee, and you're the first person who is opposing the president. In fact, when I listen to him speaking the way he's speaking, I keep wanting to ask myself, who is he opposing? Because the person who is making these policy decisions is the party leader who is the president of the Republic of Kenya. So if Cherargei doesn't agree with these positions, the person he's actually opposing is the president. I listened to him talk about the fact that there's no legacy for the president. And you asked him a very good question. He's a member of Jubilee. What is he doing to make sure we have a legacy except campaigning for 2022? And that is the problem. We have a small clique of people in Jubilee who are stuck on 2022, the 2022 presidential ambition of Deputy President William Ruto. They are not able to think outside that. This country is more united today than it has ever been since 2017. But we have a group of people who think that because they do not agree, that the country doesn't agree. But this is a small group of people. Very few people are interested in campaigns for 2022 at this moment, except a few people like Cherargei. Okay. Most people want to be delivered for food, roads, and things like that.
Honorable Wambugu and Senator Cherargei, this is the last question because you're out of time. Who do you think is the next deputy speaker? Is it a possibility you'll see either Wiper or Kanu taking that position? We start with you, Honorable Wambugu.
I personally don't know. I don't sit in Senate. I suspect Cherargei, for all we know, it could be Cherargei.
Senator, you laugh. Don't you think you can be a deputy speaker?
No, I can't, because I don't believe in the I cannot allow myself to be part of an illegality of the Constitution. What I can say is that since these people have created one single party, they can decide to give that deputy speaker. I think as I conclude, these are some of the positions that Akina Wambugu and the rest are negotiating with the opposition. Because now that we don't have a deputy speaker, even Wiper, I'm told Wiper are likely to take that seat, or even ODM. So these coalition agreements that are being made, Sam and Kenyans, these are some of the things that, in fact, when they remove majority leader in the National Assembly, those are some of the seats they will be using to negotiate with these post-election agreements. But I'm happy that matter is headed to court, and we hope the court will be able to resolve that issue.
Well, thank you so much, Senator Samson Cherargei from Nandi County, Honorable Ngunjiri Wambugu from Nyeri Town. They are members of the Jubilee Party. I'm a member of Citizen TV. Thank you so much for watching the show since 6 o'clock until this time. It's now 6 minutes past the hour. At 9 o'clock, Zinzi Kibuku will be back with the latest in terms of news. But thank you so much for watching since 6 o'clock. The 3 conversations we've had on the state of the quarantine facilities, the state of IBC calendar, and the wrangles within the Jubilee Party. We'll see you some other time. Bye for now.